would officially be off. So now we have a team with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, the purple and gold in Los Angeles, not in the play-in. Not even eligible to maybe go on a run and win 3 in a row and make the play-in. They're eliminated.
Play-in?
Eliminated.
Play-in?
Eliminated.
Play-in?
Eliminated. If you would have told me in October that this team would not even be in the play-in, I would be shocked.
What did Jim Morris say? Play-in?
He said playoffs, but yeah.
This is, hey, dog, let me tell you something.
Okay.
I'll tell you a secret. Irvin Magic Johnson was my favorite player growing up. Pat Riley embodied cool. And you know how much I love Captain. Like, I used to love watching them play and elongate the legacy. And I respected playing against Shaq and Kobe and that legacy. And let me tell y'all something. Those 17 championships and all of those years I've watched Lakers basketball, I've never seen them have all NBA caliber performers like LeBron and AD on the roster, future Hall of Famers like Russ and Carmelo.
And Dwight.
And they can't qualify for the play-in.
They're going to lose 50 games, Jalen.
This is the most disappointing season I recall in the history of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Easily. It's easily.
And let me give it some context. It's not like they were not one of the favorites to start the year. Them and the Nets were the two favorites to make it to the NBA Finals to start the season. Mm-hmm. People like myself, when I saw them assemble, even with Russ, they'll figure it out. Russ will stagger his minutes. He'll be a triple-double when LeBron misses 25 games. Yep. He'll hold it down when AD misses 20 games.
It made a lot of sense before the season started.
Can it all be so simple and right? And then AD misses 50% of the season. That's the disconnect. When AD misses half of the season, they can't stay afloat. And let me give a shout out. You ready for this? Goes around, comes around. CP3. You know who he's friends with? LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony. You know what he loved yesterday? You know what he loved yesterday? Eliminating them for the second straight year.
Oh, yeah. We remember.
For the second straight year.
And Jalen, it's when Anthony Davis was healthy and playing, they still weren't good. It's not like they won 75% of their games when they had all of their players.
Did you know that Monty Williams could have taken the Laker job and turned it down? Did you know that the Lakers tried to shortchange Ty Lue for a couple $1 million when they could have had somebody that won a championship with LeBron James?
Yes.
Like, it can't get no closer than that. So when you want to separate church from state, and you did that here, let me just make sure I give the king his tribute here. First off, he can't come back and try to win a scoring title.
Oh, he's definitely going to come back and try to win a scoring title.
That'd be a bad look.
Oh, he's definitely doing that.
No, that'd be a bad
look. Oh, he is definitely doing that.
He can't do that.
You know, Jalen.
Not going to be able to do it.
You don't think LeBron James is going to play 2 more games and score 40 or 50 in each one?
No.
You don't think he's going to? Why? Because it doesn't look good?
No.
Oh, he's definitely doing that.
Those optics are so bad.
Oh, he's doing it. I'm surprised you're even saying this.
No, because they got eliminated last night.
You know he is playing.
Hey,
you know he is playing.
Let me
think he doesn't want the scoring title?
So let me continue to go in on how bad of a Lakers season this is, and the worst that I remember, the worst I recall ever freaking watching, because LeBron James is going to be all NBA. Anthony Davis is still a top 10 player. Russell Westbrook is still playing meaningful basketball and going to the Hall of Fame. They're top 75 players in the NBA. So is Carmelo Anthony. They're on the same team right now and can't qualify for the play-in. When you get a chance, look at the starting 5 from the Spurs last night. Murray wasn't even playing.
It's wild.
They got waxed.
It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? The Lakers got waxed, and the Spurs went out and waxed the Nuggets with Jokic scoring 40 and having 17 because they got Pop on the sideline. And so, like, this Lakers team, let's not ignore LeBron's role in this. As a great player, as one of the leading scorers in the league, great players get to dictate sometimes who come and go. They earn that right. I remember being a shorty, and Isaiah wanted AD out of there, and he was bringing in Mark Aguirre. He knew that had to work. We won a championship. Magic and Norm didn't necessarily see eye to eye. When Norm left, they brought in Byron Scott.
Won a championship.
It had to work. Michael Cooper. It had to work. This been happening since the beginning of time. When Michael Jordan tells the Bulls to bring in Dennis Rodman, and he don't show up at practice because he hanging out with Carmen Electra and doing whatever Dennis Rodman does, you know who got to go get him? MJ. So let's make sure we acknowledge LeBron's role in putting together this team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not leading this team. And when we talk about them being bad on defense, him also struggling in that area. Now, the overarching issue is AD's health. If they healthy, they make the playoffs. Of course. They still don't win a championship.
Jalen, very quickly, is Frank Vogel back next year?
No, he's gone right now.
Is Anthony Davis back next year?
Yes.
Is Russell Westbrook back next year?
Yes.
Is LeBron James back next year?
Yes.
Is Rob Pelinka back next year?
Yes.
Are we back next year?
I don't know.
I think so. And they will have locked up the top spot in the Eastern Conference.
The heat is on. Sixth man of the year, Tyler Hero. With a season high, David Jacoby, 35 big points. Jimmy Butler also had 27. The Miami Heat have held the number one spot in the East more than any team in the league. You see Duncan Robinson now hitting threes. They're going to be very dangerous when the playoffs start. And I do respect the greatness of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but I'm consistently going to tell people this. I'll be shocked if the Nets are able to beat the Miami Heat or the Bucks in the first round.
Well, when you look at the standings, it looks like if the Nets could beat the Cavs in that 7-8 plan, which still isn't determined, that they would end up playing the 2 seed. And the 2 seed is a huge, huge mess with the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers, all with 3 games left to determine who ends up in 2, 3, or 4. So the number 1 or the number 2 seed are both right now in danger of playing the Nets, but the Nets aren't going to beat the Heat in a 7-game series.
No. And here's the other thing about the Miami Heat. So they have Bam Adebayo, who's a Swiss Army knife defensively, also can grab it off the board and take it coast to coast. He's been in and out of the lineup this year dealing with injury. When you put it all together and you add Kyle Lowry to that mix and PJ Tucker's corner three-point shooting, his championship pedigree, and the same with Morris, they got a lot of guys. And then there's a wild card, Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, you never know.
He just had 21 points
he
recently in the game. So they have the currency and the culture and the coaching to actually get this done. So the favorites in the East have to be the Bucks and the Heat. If somebody else for me comes out of the Eastern Conference, I personally will be shocked.
Yeah, I believe the Bucks are it does look right now as we head into the playoffs that the 2 teams that were in the finals last year are my favorites to be in the finals this year, the Suns and the Bucks. I want to show you something that you're really going to love and something that you're really not going to love. 2 things I know about you is you hate air balls, but you love LaMelo Ball. And let me just show you just one instance of his absolute wizardry on the basketball floor that happened last night in this game against the Heat. Look at this. The spin catch, and then the corner. What?
Magic as an NIL right there. Woo. Look at that. Woo. And let me just talk about the shot. Let me go into my best Scarface, Brad Jordan. I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. You know what I mean? Like, somebody gives you a dime like this, dog, hand delivers you
the spin
an
on the
open
catch,
three-point shot.
and then the fake to one corner, then look at the hoop, and then hit it to the other corner. LaMelo Ball was absolutely just dynamic all season long. And in this game, he had at least 4 or 5 great highlights. But we are going to move on to the teams below the Heat in the Eastern Conference, the 76ers and the Bucks. They both got wins. The Celtics were not playing last night, but it was Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid went off. He had 45 points and 13 rebounds. Now, you don't want to play the Nets, right, in that first round series, but you don't not want to play the Nets. You know what I mean? Like, the Nets they're not looming as this team that I would pick over any one of those 4 teams in the top spot in a 7-game series.
Well, the reason why is because inconsistently defensive. On the defensive side. And shout to Maxey, who was terrific knocking down threes. Joel Embiid was dominant. Philadelphia was hitting threes from all over the place. And as we talk about disappointing teams in the NBA, make sure you mention the Pacers.
Well, we don't mention the Pacers.
I know. Well, I am. I'm really disappointed in their season. I thought they would be a lot better, but I want to make sure I give props to Embiid because last night when I went to bed, Jacoby.
Uh-oh.
Glass of wine.
Uh-oh.